Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is CryptoTakeOver coming back with another video again for y'all. And we recently just had a little bit of a nosedive that sent us back down to test some trendline support, possibly going to end up breaking through our bearish flag that some people have been calling out. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the higher time frames and decide whether or not it is a good time to maybe see some lower numbers in Bitcoin right now. But we're going to dive on into it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that we all can be updated every single video that I make. And let's get started. So coming out with a little bit of an earlier video this morning or night, wherever y'all are at. Got some things I need to do today, but even in quarantine, we can still do things, right? So but yeah, it's so we're having this little bit of a sell-off here, kind of unexpected for some part, but we did come back down and retest this trend line, and just kind of waiting to see exactly what's going to happen here. So we can see that we're starting to we're still in our green money flow here, but it's probably going to start rounding off just a tad bit. A nice little sell volume that came in here. So now we just want to see whether or not we're going to have the buyers start to jump in, or if this is just an indication of a nice little round area for us here. Currently trending below our VWAP as well, indicating that it looks like the bears do want to take control of the day here. So we'll probably see some retests of that VWAP maybe at about 6,700-ish area. Depending on how the day plays out too. We could see if bears still want to take control of this market right now. Going into our 30-minute. Also, money flow is kind of rounding off just a tad bit here. We're going to jump straight into our 1 hour and see what's going on here. So our 1 hour still looking a little bit flat right now. Most of this is just sideways movement, and we really have to take that into consideration. It's just not a very safe trading area. Haven't taken any positions yet. My group's been kind of on their on toes a little bit, just wanting to get in positions. I've been trying to tell them just stay calm, like it's still sideways, too much sideways movement for me. So we're just kind of laying low for right now. But we're also thinking about our next plan too. So if y'all are interested in joining us, y'all can click the link in the description box to join the Patreon page, and I can give you access to our trading team channel in Discord. So I only have a few spots left for that, but it is filling up. So go ahead and get signed up, come trade with us, come learn a little bit more about these markets. And so we can also see that we're getting a nice little squeeze here. We are trending below our 21 moving average, looking to maybe find a little bit of a squeeze between our 21 and our 50 EMA. We got that squeeze back here, and we had a nice little pump to the top side. Now it looks like we are getting a squeeze again. We're going to see if we can find support here, whether or not we come back down and maybe retest that 100 EMA at about 6,500. So still just a lot of sideways movement for me right now. Not too comfortable, not too bearish, not too bullish right now either. Kind of neutral. But I think as we started to move into some of these higher time frames, I was kind of looking at the money flow just to see what it might be telling us too. And we can see that we are still pretty much in the green for the most part, all the way up until our higher time frames. And then from there, I want to see whether or not our green money flow is going to round off, maybe anticipating a little bit of a downside movement, possible short possibly. So getting our first little Heikin-Ashi red candle here as well on our 2 hour. So this trend line support was already broken on our Bybit chart too. So I can take a look at our Bybit chart. You can see what's happening there if it'll load. We can see that trend line was already broken. This channel that we were in here, drew it out on the Bybit chart, but it has been broken. So just want to keep an eye on it. I do want to just go by the Bitstamp chart for right now, since this is the main one that I like to use, especially for the channel. But right now on our 2 hour, still trending above our 21 EMA, maybe finding a little bit of support, but our blue wave is wanting to come to the downside just a tad bit here. So I would expect a little bit of movement probably to the downside, but it's still going to be probably a tight trading range for us. probably for the next day or two. I would say probably over the weekend we'll know what position to take, and I'll be keeping my members up to date so that way they can know what I'm doing. But sometimes, I'll just keep them up to date with what I'm doing, and they can decide whether or not they want to take that position or not based on what their analysis say too. I was telling one of my Patreon members, my signals are basically just a guide for you. You can use them at your own discretion, pretty much, but it's not financial advice, right? So then we can do our 4 hour. Also getting a nice little squeeze here, trending above our 13 EMA and squeezing with our VWAP. We did have a nice little push to the upside here on our 4 hour and our 13. So our 13 EMA is probably going to get us a nice little squeeze again and see what happens there. So, it does kind of look like we are trending up a little bit higher, maybe putting in some higher lows, but I'm still very unsure about right now. I think that if we do end up breaking this trend line, especially on our Bitstamp chart, that we will probably start to fall off just a tad bit and maybe just round even more. So it is something we need to be aware of. And I think we also have a red dot here on our 4 hour. So let's go into our 6 hour and see what's going on here. 6 hour money. So this is where things start to get a little interesting. But let's just talk about what we have going on the channel here. So if y'all are brand new to this channel, y'all can get signed up for the newsletter. Get signed up for the newsletter. I'll probably send out that email here in a few hours. Like I said, I'm up early today, but I plan on giving y'all a little bit of content through our newsletter subscription. So feel free to get signed up for that. And then also I do giveaways every once in a while. So in order to qualify for it, just make sure you're signed up. And then also I have the Patreon page that is available. So if y'all are interested in joining, feel free to sign up for it. Only a few spots left right now in this tier. I'm just kind of keeping the group small for right now. So our trading group, I just wanted to keep it a small, tight-knit group so that way we can all stay on the same page about things, and we can make sure that we are in the right mindset for a lot of us in there. So feel free to join. I also have Patreon posts, and I make private videos on the Patreon page as well. And most of those private videos are just trading strategies, things that I have set up in TradingView that y'all might be interested in learning about. And then also y'all can join the Discord channel. It is free to join, but the private group or the Patreon group is private. And in order to join that, you need to be signed up for it. And then also the Telegram group is available. So feel free to join the Telegram group. It is free to join. Y'all are welcome to join us in there, getting some members joining. So that's good. Awesome stuff. I keep mostly like news articles and stuff going in there, so it's a lot of fun. We have a good time, polls and everything too. And so I did kind of want to show y'all exactly what's going on with the coronavirus, or the virus that shall not be named, if I might say, on YouTube. But we passed our 500,000 mark. The U.S. is now in first place of most confirmed cases right now too. So it's not looking pretty right now. Honestly, this is I feel like this is a pretty big setup for a lot of things to be implemented that we just need to be really aware of, especially going into our future livelihoods too, and entering possibly a cashless society as well. But what is that cashless society going to be? Probably a digital dollar. Will it be Bitcoin? There's a possibility. There's a possibility it could be other altcoins too as well. So we just need to keep an eye on those for the most part. But in my Patreon page, I tell you about 2 of my favorite altcoins that I am in heavy accumulation of. One of those altcoins might actually end up flipping the market cap of Bitcoin in the near-term future. So that is one that I'm in heavy accumulation of, and you can get through my Patreon page as well. Looking at our 6 hour here, we are getting that little bit of a squeeze. Our 100 EMA is kind of closing down on us just a tad bit, maybe showing us a little bit of resistance here. Going into our 8 hour as well, we can see that our money flow is starting to move to the, it's still in the red for the most part. So our 6 hour was kind of maybe wanting to give us a green sign, peeking into that greenish money flow area for us right now. Yeah, it's really just, this is why I feel like we're going to get a lot of sideways movement right now, and I'm not really interested in taking a position right now for the most part. So just kind of laying low, and I've told the group that they're cool with it as well. But man, I remember when we caught these big drops back here on my channel too, and so that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is some bigger drops to line up for us, and then we're gonna take those. This whole sideways choppy scalping stuff, I don't really like to do that too much. I want to be able to sit in on a trade and make some good profit from it. So the scalping stuff I'm not a big fan of, and honestly we've been moving sideways for the past couple of weeks, to be honest. So we'll just kind of go with the flow and wait for a proper setup for ourselves, and then go ahead and take it. So then as we move into our 12-hour, we can see that our money flow is starting to move up to the top side just a tad bit. I did want to turn on our buy and sell signals, see what's happening here. And so my buy and sell signals are a custom signal that I have set up, and I provide to my Patreon members if y'all are interested in that as well too, and learning a little bit more about how I set that up, as well as my Aldo EMAs too. So we do have a buy signal here in our 12-hour, but we're starting to see some sideways movement with some doji candle action happening, getting a nice little squeeze from our 50 EMA and our 21 and our 13, maybe making a squeeze there, possibly popping out to the top side here or breaking down a little bit lower. So I just want to kind of just keep a close eye on things. I feel that we're going to be ranging for a little bit longer. Like I said, a couple more days of ranging here, up and down, sideways movement, and I'm not really interested in scalping it. So if y'all do want to upgrade, y'all can use the TradingView link in the description box. I use the premium plan, but also I used the Pro Plus plan for a while, and y'all can totally check that out. So actually I'm sending out the email today on how to get this for half price. And so get signed up for that newsletter so y'all can get that email. I'm also working on a 3 commas bot as well that works with Bybit. So currently back testing that out. Looking forward to sharing that with all of my members in the group. So keep an eye out on that. If y'all do want to go ahead and get signed up with 3 commas, y'all are welcome to check that link in the description below too, and help support the channel. And then also, if y'all are just buying and hodling, I'd recommend buying a Ledger Nano X or S. I think you get a free Ledger Nano S if you buy a Ledger Nano X right now too as well. And on most of my members in my trading group also use the Bybit platform. So this is the platform I would recommend at least. I know that a lot of people are moving to Finex, but I still use Bybit for the most part. I know Bybit's coming out with some features soon where you can open up two different orders at the same time, just like in the Finex platform as well. So super ready for Bybit to finally launch that. That'll be awesome, but it'll be very helpful as well too, and super fun. So looking forward to that. But use the link in the description box, get signed up, access the testnet before you decide to actually deposit your BTC on there, and learn a little bit more about trading. So you can also use Prime XBT if you are a USA citizen and you want to leverage trade as well. They have a few different commodities and assets that you can trade on Prime XBT, all using Bitcoin as well. Let's go into our daily chart real quick. So our daily chart was looking a little bit bullish. It looks like we're trying to get up above our 21 EMA, but I still feel like that we're going to see some sideways movement. As you can see here, we've still just been putting in a little bit of sideways movement as well. I told someone that I was bullish yesterday on the daily chart, but still it's too risky for me right now. I don't really want to sit there and stare at the computer all day for scalps. So I try to avoid doing that and just wait for the proper big setups to happen as well. And then we have our 2-day chart here. Also a little bit more on the bearish side, but starting to move into that greenish money flow there. As you can see, we did have a nice little run up here with our 2-day. So yeah, we could see that happen again, or we have a nice little movement to the upside, but I do want to still just kind of keep an eye on things and see what might happen. So if we're going to get sideways movement, if it's going to be a time for a long position or a short position, that is yet to be determined. but I will keep my eye on things and make sure to keep my Patreon members up to date with what's going on as well too. As y'all know, a lot of now some of the big influencers with crypto have been coming out talking about the hash ribbons capitulation happening. So I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, to be honest, and now we have our bigger influencers coming out talking about the capitulation. So I would be very hesitant to play a short based off of that. But yeah, I think that, once we go into capitulation, it's going to be a little while before we have our buy signal. And then once we get our buy signal on there, I would feel more obligated to start to long this market for sure. So we'll keep y'all up to date on what's going on with that. Our 5-day also moving down to the downside here. Still in that, getting into that red money flow, as you can see on our 5-day chart. So this could be some more sideways movement, maybe even a bigger adjustment of price movement as we cross our 21 and our 100 EMA. As we know, we're looking for that death cross pretty soon too, probably by the end of March. So going into the end of March and then into April, we could see some interesting moves. So I do want to just kind of play it, lay low for right now, and just see what's happening and see what market decides to come up with from here. Going into our 6-day, we had that buy signal already on our 6-day, and then our weekly. Also just kind of hanging out there right now for the side. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. And then we'll go into our monthly chart just to show y'all that. But I don't want to keep this video running too long. I've been kind of running over just a tad bit on my time that I usually like to put out for videos. Trying to keep it under at least 20 minutes. That'd be nice. So thanks for tuning in again, y'all. I really appreciate it. If we do drop to the downside, I would expect to at least maybe have this 100 EMA. That's a big correction right there, but we can't x86 anything out just yet. We have to just be aware of what could possibly happen. So with that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. I hope to see y'all on on the Patreon platform as well too. Y'all can sign up for the Brave browser and browse the web. You can also earn BAT token browsing the web using Brave browser. Then also mine Bitcoin using CryptoTab browser. It's a super simple way to start mining Bitcoin. I'll show y'all this really quick, show y'all that I've been running this CryptoTab browser mining Bitcoin from 2 other computers right now. And then also you can download the apps on your phone or tablet, and then also have that running as a background process. So super cool, convenient way to start mining Bitcoin. And then also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to reach out to me on Discord. I'll answer you on there. And so with that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. It's Crypto Takeover. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that we all can be updated every single video that I make. And I'll talk to y'all again then. Peace out.